What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can learn how to avoid water damage insurance claim denials. Specifically, we're going to be talking about sewer backups. Insurance companies routinely deny claims that they shouldn't, and more importantly, they go through and they misapply a clause or multiple clauses so that they limit the amount of coverage that they owe. And this is not being done correctly. I'm going to teach you what they're doing and how you can get around it in this video. Here's the deal. If you own a restoration company and you do sewer jobs, you do not want to miss this video. Let's go. All right, guys, as we get started, hit the like, the subscribe button, drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, so we already know that insurance companies, they deny stuff, but their biggest thing that we're going to see, that we're going to talk about, we're going to focus on, is they misapply a clause about a sewer backup to a lot of things that are Cat 3, okay? And it's all beginning with the labeling, okay? So that's going to bring me to my first point. Where you guys get into the most trouble is right out of the gate. You report it as sewage, and you should never report it as sewage. You should report it as a water loss, straight up. Like, what is sewage anyway? Like, you should probably go get it tested before you know specifically, is it Cat 2 or Cat 3? Like, that's up for debate. But what I'm telling you is what you call it right out of the gate, that pegs it, okay? And don't report it as sewage. Just report it as water, and if you need to mitigate it as Cat 3, mitigate it as Cat 3, okay? That's fine. But the problem is, you're reporting it as sewage, and that alerts everybody, okay? And they're all thinking, okay, sewage, what's going on? We got to go see, can we apply this rider for sewage backup? That's what's happening each and every time. Again, the problem, you report it as sewage. Don't report it as sewage. Report it as water. They have coverage for water. And then if it winds up being Cat 2 or Cat 3, so what? We'll mitigate it the way that we need to do it. But do not report it as sewage in the beginning. Now, the next thing that a lot of people will do is they'll try to pretend that they're Inspector Gadget. And you should never try to figure out what's going on. Guys, once we get called and we're out there, you might take some initial pictures. And here's the reason that we're there. Something is wet that's not supposed to be wet. So they call us. Something is wet that's not supposed to be wet, and they call us. That is what we're there to do, okay? Water is not where it's supposed to be. We're there to fix it. Doesn't even matter what category it is. Water is where it's not supposed to be, and we're going to fix it. And they have insurance coverage for that, okay? If and when the insurance company asks what's going on and where's it at, I don't know. We've got wet areas. I've got wet flooring, a wet room, here and here and here. I don't know what's going on. We're going to find out. I'll let you know as we go. Should we stop mitigation? Okay. And that's the next thing. A lot of you guys will want to get approval to get started. You don't need to get approval to get started, dog. Okay. The insurance policy already tells the customer that they have to mitigate against secondary damage or their claim can be denied. Like, the policy issues coverage, okay? And then it also states that they are to begin mitigation immediately. You do not have to ask, can you get approval to begin mitigation? Like, just don't. And that's what I used to do. And then I learned I shouldn't be doing that. A lot of times the homeowner's gonna wanna say it's covered. Look, dude, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. The policy issues coverage. It is not, you don't need to get it approved. It is covered until you get it denied. It is covered until you get it denied, okay? So don't get it denied. Don't report it as sewage. It's wet, and get started. I don't know what happened is a perfectly good example in the beginning, and you just let them know. We'll let you know more as we go. Mitigation is underway. Let me know if you got a problem. That's really it. That's really it, okay? And they don't have the authority to stop you anyway, because even if it is gonna be a denied claim, then why are you listening to them about mitigating it anyhow, okay? It's got to get done. The policy says get it done. And this is the reason why I have seen denied claims get paid in full, because the policy says to mitigate. It is possible, bro, that you can mitigate, it gets denied, and they still pay for it. It is possible that it gets denied and it still gets paid for. Why? Because you don't know that it's a denial until you do some investigation, and the policy tells them to go. I'm just telling you, I've seen it happen on my own claims, okay? It's possible. I've seen it happen. But you don't need approval. You need to get started, okay? And don't report it as sewage. It's a water deal. And don't play Inspector Gadget. You're not there to be Inspector Gadget. Don't play Inspector Gadget. Do your job. Mitigate it. So now let's talk about how they misapply a sewer backup, okay? So first off, it's not even a sewer backup, okay? Like, the sewer is not even on your property. Okay, the sewer is at the street. So how do you know if it's a sewer backup? It's pretty simple. If it's somebody else's shit in your house, that is a sewer backup. If it's your shit in your house, then it's not a sewer backup. But really, that's it. Who shits in your house? If it's your shit, then it's not a sewer backup. If it's your neighbor's shit, that is a sewer backup. I'm serious. Like, I'm not joking. A sewer backup is when something happens out in the sewer, okay? And then it comes up into the house. That's why they put the limits in there, okay? Otherwise, It's a blockage or whatever it might be. I don't know what it is, but it's not a sewer backup. And so why do they apply that? Because the sewer backup is in a lot of policies and it's got that $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 cap, and you do not want to get that sewer backup applied, number one. But if you do, you still got hope, but you're going to be in for a tougher road. But again, that's why I don't mention sewage. It's just a water loss, period. All right, so let's talk about a little evidence. So I got a little case law for you. So I went and did a case study, and I found something in New York. It was Pitchell versus Dryden Mutual in 2014, okay? So here's what they say happened. There was a backup caused wastewater to come in through the drain. The insurance company says they called it a sewer backup and denied the claim. The court's ruling that the blockage happened on the property and therefore was not a sewer backup. A sewer backup happens when the feces is beyond the meter, like out in the sewer, okay? In this situation, they denied it. They went to court and they found out and determined that the blockage was in the plumbing system and therefore covered. Case number one. In case number two, we come down to the Sunshine State right down here in sunny Florida. Here we had Cheatham versus Southern Oak in 2013. And what happened? We had a pipe on the insured's property collapsed and flooded the house, okay? So we had a pipe somewhere in the street or somewhere in the slab. It collapsed, caused a backup. We got poop and pee in the house. Insurance company denies the claim, saying it's a sewer backup. The court's ruling, because the pipe was on the homeowner's property, it was therefore covered. So do y'all understand what I'm saying here? The sewage backup is out in the street. And like, they may try to pull this, but I'm just telling you, there's a difference between a sewer backup and a blockage that's on your property. But I'm not even telling you to report it as a blockage. Don't report it as anything. But if it does, and they try to mention the sewage backup, then you'll use these angles, okay? And look, you might be able to get a public adjuster. Like, my better angle is for you not to have to fight this fight, because if you wind up having to go get an attorney or a public adjuster, you already lost. And again, we go back to this. If it's your poop in the house, then it's not a sewer backup. If it's your neighbor's poop in your house, that's a sewer backup. So let's recap a little bit of this. You never want to report it as sewage, okay? Report it as a water loss and mitigate it as Cat 3. And you don't even have to tell them. Like, I don't even know they're smart enough to figure that out, okay? Like, if you cut the drywall or whatever you do, because I've seen half of you guys will cut drywall on a Cat 1 anyway. I still don't understand what you're doing right there, but a lot of you guys do. I'm telling you. The other thing is when you call it Cat 3, they argue the category because it's more expensive. So I never call Cat 3 Cat 3. I write it as normal, and I will charge Cat 3 prices because I do that on my Cat 1s because I like to be really, really expensive, okay? But I never call it sewage. I just call it water every time. Number two, do not try to say what's going on or where it came from. You don't know. Don't play the role of an inspector. You're not an inspector. And I would even tell you this. If you try to tell them what you think happened and you were wrong and they denied the claim, you could even probably be held liable by the homeowner, because they could say that you made some finding that wasn't even accurate. And by you taking that finding to the insurance company, you harmed them and they could sue you. And they should sue you. Don't do that. And again, if somehow you wind up in the situation they're trying to call it a sewage backup, then I would just jump in like this. Oh, no. This was not a sewage thing beyond the street. A sewage backup happens when you're out here. I've got plenty of case law for that. That's not what happened here. You're playing the good guy, but don't worry, it's not going to be a huge job, even though hopefully it is. And then you don't want to let them to apply the sewage backup to that, okay? Then you want to make sure they got everything in writing. In the unlikely event that you do wind up getting it denied, then you want to get the denial letter. Don't let them tell you they're not going to do it. They have to give you a denial letter. And I'll be honest with you, once they give you the denial letter, now you've got something to fight, because they have to tell you in a sentence what it was. And then all you have to do is prove it wasn't that. Okay. So even when you get the denial letter, you're not done. You're not done, but it's the fourth quarter and you're down. So the final takeaway, guys, is this: words matter. Don't call it sewage. Leave it as water, okay? And don't try to play Inspector Gadget. Insurance companies don't like to pay for claims, in case you didn't know that. Here's the deal. If you're in restoration, there's two big problems. Number one, getting consistent water damage jobs. Number two, getting paid for those. Around me here, there's going to be a couple videos. I've got playlists. If you want to learn more about getting consistent water damage jobs, go to that video. And if you want to learn more about how to write better invoices and estimates and make more money and get paid more money from the insurance company, then go to that video. I'll see you guys in the next video.